it. Okay, let's see. Am I live? I might be. I think so. Let's see. Hi, Teresa. How are you tonight? Well, share me out into a couple of my groups. There we go. Hey, Kelly, how are you? I'm glad. Hey, Christy, how are you? Hey, Ari, good to see y'all. Y'all are hopping on. I am too. I am very excited for this one. And so I've been excited since we decided what we're going to do. We're going to add to our little love story that we are creating. You know, this is, I think I called him Ziggy. Thank you for sprinkling the love. Yes, sprinkle the love, sprinkle, sprinkle. Cooking dinner, beautiful day outside. Yes, it was gorgeous today. It was beautiful here too. And so we're going to add to our little, what did you call it? Love-you-ary? I used that too. And so we're going to add to this piece, and we're going to have a little fairy. We'll have to name her, who is, you know, her story starts at love. Does he love me? Does he love me not? So we tell the story. Teresa, remind me where here is. Did you say it was Illinois? Is that right? I try to remember that. Thank you, Ari, for sprinkling the love. Yes, so a little fairy. We'll have to see. Does she have a best friend? We didn't say. He has a little friend that's the frog. Wonder if she has a best friend. Louisiana. Okay. Anna Coco, Louisiana. Christy is the one in Illinois. I knew there was someone who was in, I mean, I know there's several who's in Illinois, but of the ones who just recently followed me, that was in Illinois. So you're in Louisiana and Christy is in Illinois. A lightning bug, maybe. They're just so little though. But then again, fairies are kind of little too. That would be cute. All right, I'm gonna show y'all something when I turn down that I worked on with my private group. We got some ladybugs. I've got to throw a little fire on this before this gets to the point where I can't throw fire on it. I just poured some resin right before the live started. We did these last night. We did two different but yet same version. Or same but different. I don't know the best way to say that, but that is what it is. Same but different. Oh, I see. Sherry is on. Sorry. Love my papers I ordered. Yay, Christy. I'm glad you loved them. So it always makes me happy. I love those papers. They are such nice papers. And it always makes me happy when I hear, especially somebody who's ordered the first time from me, gets them and that they love them. I'm going to see if I can pick this up without it being a total natural disaster. It probably will be a natural disaster. I probably should just wait until I turn down. I'm going to just turn down, I think. Because none of this is actually glued down, and gravity wins, you know, even with resin until it's up. Oh, y'all, in my resin is a big old long Kai hair. Well, not that long, but it's from Kai. But hey, Brenda, all right, let me get some sprinkles things because folks have been sprinkling and sprinkling and sprinkling away. So there's Brenda who sprinkled. I know Kelly sprinkled. Ari sprinkled. Teresa sprinkled. Christy sprinkled. And is that where it all started? I think that's where it all started. All right. So let's get these names on here. Christy. Teresa. Let me make sure I'm getting your last name right. Yep, that's what I thought. Cherry. Sprinkled. So that's Christy and Teresa in there. And then who else did I say? Ari sprinkled. Yeah, my memory is terrible. I can say it and then I have to go back and look again. Brenda sprinkled and Kelly sprinkled. There we go. Now I got them all in there. So everyone is in there who has sprinkled the love. Oh, Sherry McIntyre has sprinkled. Thank you. Those sprinkles mean a lot to me, and I appreciate that. And what I do to thank you for all those sprinkles is your name gets entered in this little mason jar. And on the 15th of the month and the 30th of the month, or whichever live is closest to those days, I go live on Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays at 7:30, Wednesdays at 8. And sometimes I go live on Fridays at 12. This month, I know my last 2 Fridays of the month, I need to be live at 11:30. If that does not work, then I'll have to cancel those. Yes, I got you, Teresa, that you sprinkled the love. Hi, Amy. How are you tonight? Good to see you. I think you're new to me. My name's Amanda, and I'm a Simply Amazing Art. And tonight we are doing something so cute. I hope it's going to end up being so cute. I'm gonna hit this one more time. Yes, I got your name in there, Brenda, that you sprinkled the love. I'm gonna hit this one more time because then I'm gonna show this and I'm gonna set this aside over on the resin table and it's gonna be good. Amy is your neighbor. Oh, nice. Oh, Amy, thank you for sprinkling the love. I'll get your name entered. If you go, don't go now. Wait till after my live or tomorrow. Look on my page. I put a post up about my lives this month and I listed them all out. I think it's like a total of 18 lives between everything. And that's not my private group lives. So anyway, but so I'm gonna turn this down and I'm gonna show these. I tried to sprinkle 5 times so it goes out to more Facebook audience. Thank you, Teresa. Yay. That's awesome. Yes, that helps me drastically. So last night with my private group, I did these little ladybugs. And earlier this month, no, late last month, I did this one and I had this idea of it like looking like a mosaic, and this one kind of didn't. It's pretty. I like it. Number one, I don't like the legs. The legs remind me of a different kind of bug and I can't get past it. So I'm out with those legs, even though like a ladybug blown up this big, you probably would see those legs. I'm having a problem with them. So I had to like ditch the legs. And so we redid it and I like the way this body turned out, but I feel like the red didn't pop because I painted it red underneath. And so it just kind of didn't pop for me the way I had envisioned it. So last night we did it 2 different ways. I put foil flakes on this one, and on this one I put down 3D glue paste and then put a foil sheet over it to basically see the difference. These, the whole wings were coated in the foil flakes, and in this one it's just basically around the pieces of glass, and it's white underneath the pieces of glass. Honestly, I don't know that I can really tell a difference. This looks a little more gold and shiny than that one, but I just wanted to show, because many of my folks are here. I made these little yellow dots, little gold ones on there, just because they ladybugs do have those. And but anyway, I'm going to remove these. I just poured the resin on, so I'm going to put them over on my resin table. And we're going to get to busy on our fairy tonight. And we've got a story we need to tell these about the fairy and the gnome. They have a story. Hold on, I need to grab a piece of palette paper here for my paint. Anyway, I use this deli paper. It's the paper that you get when you go to the deli and get like deli meat. That's all it is. And I have a little wet palette. This is just a little tray. You can have any kind of tray. I just cut a piece of chamois cloth that you clean. Like, I don't use the mat that came with this. This is just a piece of chamois cloth that you cut from like a big piece that you dry your car with. And then I just get the stamp. I have a little water that I just basically pour some in there, and then it'll kind of, you'll see it kind of stretches out. Hey Jean, how are you? Thank you for sprinkling the love. Hey Lynn, how are you? But yeah, that's what we did in the private group last night. Just as a fun piece, just to do, we had a little chat session, Q&A session, and I kind of try to like to do just a little piece. And then we have our, what I call a 4th quarter small piece. And usually they're in the 6x6, 5x7, no bigger than like an 8x8. Mainly 6x6 size, and basically it's geared to I call them 4th quarter sales because they're smaller pieces that can be easily replicated, that you could do like knock out like 2 at a time, 3, 4, however many at a time, different little projects like that. And that you can fill a booth with, you can fill, at a craft fair or whatever, and hopefully sell more stuff. Oh, thank you, Lynn, for sprinkling the love. And so, our big pieces of art, they're beautiful, and and I'm not saying they don't sell. They sell, and they sell well, but they typically are higher price point. And the idea of the 4th quarter small is just something that you can offer for in the like $20, $25 range. Something where when people go to craft fairs, they go to the art shows, they do whatever, they don't almost think twice about spending that they see it, they think of a coworker, a friend, you know, somebody who would just love it, and they don't mind, you know, spending a few bucks for a gift for them. And it's kind of an impulsive type thing too. They see it, they love it. It's 20, 25 bucks and they buy it. So that is what we aim for. Now, for this piece, the fairy, I'm going to do the exact same background, because what I'm envisioning is basically she's going to be on this side. And of course, he's on that side. And you could hang them either like this, or you could hang them side by side based on the, you know, the size of your wall. But she's going to be hanging out over here on this side, and he's going to be hanging out over there on that side. So effectively, they're going to be kind of like looking at each other. Oh, wow. 78 today. Oh, Lynn, are you going down to Florida? Wow. You gonna see Brenda? You gonna visit her? That's fun. All right, so we started with thicket. We kind of worked up into, I gotta remember what color we did next. I think we did some sage mint. I think that was the color. And then we went into some sea breeze. And then I brought in this turquoise blue. Oof, I had to go back into my recesses of my brain cells. Did I research type of pixies? I looked at a couple of pictures of them just to see, like, okay, this is kind of what they look like. So, and a friend of mine reminded me that I have actually done a piece. Let me see if I have that. I had forgotten all about it, but I did it in watercolor, and I did it sometime back, like maybe a year and a half, a year plus ago or so. It's been a while. But it was hanging out here behind this. This is what I did. And so mine are not going to be silhouettes though. So I had done that with watercolor. A friend of mine was like, you have done fairies before. And I'm like, no, I haven't. And she's like, you did them in watercolor. And then I was like, oh yeah, I did. So I had to stop and think, like, where did I put that? So we're going to do something similar. Yeah, it kind of looks like Tinkerbell. Yeah, kind of. Are there many of them? And I mean, I guess, like, I'm trying to remember Tinkerbell because it's been a long time. I mean, I do, you know, I mean, she was around when I was a kid. I mean, I'm not that old, but I'm trying to remember, like, exactly, did she have like these pointy ears? Like, I'm like, maybe a little bit, because the ones I saw when I was looking online, like, all of them have pointy ears, and some of them kind of look, I mean, I'm not one to think like devilish things, but they kind of look like little, I don't know, not cute. Not like Tinkerbell cute. So ours aren't going to look like that. Ours is going to look more like Tinkerbell cute, I think, but not really Tinkerbell. I really would rather Disney not try to, like, sue me for infringement. So her name's not going to be Tinkerbell. I can tell you what her name is not going to be, but we can give her any name we want other than Tinkerbell. So I really don't need Disney coming after me. And trust me, guys, if y'all are making art and y'all are selling art, do yourself the biggest favor on the planet and stay away from Disney stuff. Just stay away from it. Because when you put that out there and you're selling it, Disney has whole teams of people who do nothing but look for copyright infringements. And, they're not going to sue you on the first thing, you're not going to get like taken to court. You will probably at the minimum get a cease and desist letter. But if you get that letter, do what they say, because you do not want to push it, because they will sue you. And so yeah, I don't touch anything. I don't touch copyrighted stuff unless I have the commercial license to do it, or I have purchased it. So like if you go and let's just make a scenario up, you find wrapping paper that has, Tinkerbell on it, and you use it as like a decoupage paper, that's perfectly fine, because that wrapping paper had that license to produce that, and you can use that, and you can sell that product that you make with that, because it all carries over. Same with fabric. But if you were to just paint Tinkerbell and it looked like Tinkerbell, and you call her Tinkerbell, and you have her flying over a castle, and you can see the scenario where it's like, yeah, kind of hard for someone to believe that just like happened by mistake. Yeah, you don't want that. You kind of want to stay away from that. I'm going to give this a try, but I have seen some folks get into a little murky territory, like that's copyrighted and you don't have the copyright for that. Now, if you want to paint yourself one and, hang it in your house, there's still rules against that, but no one's gonna like come after you. But if you're out there selling them, be warned. Be warned. Especially online. I'm talking more online. At local shows, they don't have a Disney rep running around looking. But if you're putting it out there online and you're like getting orders online, you're gonna run into a little bit of trouble. Or you could run into trouble. No, it does not have glitter in it. It's just wet. And the light is picking it up wet, and it looks like it has glitter in it. But no, it's just wet paint. I haven't switched the camera out yet. I was hoping to get down to the studio much earlier than I did. I barely got time to finish that. Like I was putting resin on that up to 2 minutes before my live here. And so I was hoping to get down here at 5 tonight and have 3 whole hours in my studio, but that did not happen. We may have to pull out. Will your picture gonna have a special wand? I don't know. Well, she's not gonna be holding a wand because she's gonna be holding a daisy, because she's doing the loves me or loves me not. So she won't have a wand in her hand. Now, I do have a question for y'all. And I want you to tell me what you want. At first, when I first saw this, I was kind of thinking that I would do like a dandelion and have her either under the dandelion or have her kind of like up on the dandelion somehow or another, like on the stem of the dandelion. But I kind of am thinking maybe I'd do a similar mushroom on this side and have her sitting like on the top of the mushroom. What do y'all think? On top of the mushroom or have like a dandelion that she's hanging out on? Yeah, she's gonna have a little like daisy, you know, where you pick the petal up and you're like, does he love me? He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. You know. So what do we think? Top of mushroom. Okay. I think that kind of will pull the two pieces together. Yep, Kelly, I'm with you on that. Yep, you and I are great minds thinking alike. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna pull the mushroom down a little bit. So we're kind of like where we see the ground here, we're gonna pull the mushroom down a little bit and start our mushroom like right here. And then she's gonna be hanging out on like where it curves down maybe. And hanging out there or sitting on top of or something. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. So let me grab my pencil and let me just start like figuring this whole mushroom thing out here and where we're going to start and stop the mushroom. If she is sitting on top, we want to see less of the mushroom. So I kind of like the idea of her sitting on top. I'm going to pull the mushroom over here. She's going to be sitting on top. It means the top of our mushroom is going to be like about right here. Maybe down a little bit. Give me a little more room for her. You want to be able to tell it's a mushroom and not just like some weird hill. But I think we'll be able to tell it's a mushroom. I'll give it a little curl up right there so you can kind of see under, you know. And that way that'll make it very clear what we're looking at. And then I know y'all can't see that very well. Let me cut this light off and see if that's any help in y'all seeing these lines. I am gonna research a new camera. I was hoping to redo that today for a little bit, but work consumed all of my time today, and which it should. I mean, I'm not saying it shouldn't. But I didn't have any free moment to surf the web for a minute to just look to see like, okay, what's a better camera? So see, it's so hard to see. And this camera, if it were as good as it should be, you should be able to see these lines. And so they're not that light. See if I get it where you can see it. See, they're not that light. But it's just not a great camera. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Clay sculptures, they're always were fun to do. All right, so let's get her a little. I gotta think about her size. And I gotta think about just her general shape. I want her kind of facing that away because they're going to be quote unquote facing each other. So, and I know she's kind of small, but I still want to, you know, she is the emphasis of the whole thing. So I kind of want to be able to see her. I may end up having to make my mushroom a little larger. That's okay if I do. I'm just sketching out what I am sort of thinking here. I don't know. I'm not crazy about that shape of that face. That's okay. And it may just be something I end up. I usually do better with faces if I just like do it live, as they say. Who was that guy that kept screaming, do it live? Because he kept screwing up. I can't remember, but I think it was like a late night host or somebody who, like, it's been several years ago now that happened. At work, we say that when something doesn't go our way, we're like, we're just gonna do it live. We're just gonna do it live. Okay, I have a better face now. One that I like the looks of. One that looks like a possible woman's face. The other one was like, maybe if you were an old man. Maybe. And maybe not. Okay. We'll figure out the hair in a minute. And how we want that hair to be. And the fact that she's gonna have little peaked ears, because every one of them I saw had little peaked ears. And so we're going to give her a little peak ear. I can't remember if Tinkerbell had that or not. And then her back that's going to come down. She's skinny, but I don't want her to look anorexic. Yet I don't want to make her look like she's too big either, because she's not. Okay. And then she's going to have wings, because, you know, our fairy has wings. So we're going to figure out what they look like. They're going to be kind of fancy wings, I think. I saw some that looked like really kind of fancy wings. I thought that would be kind of pretty. They had like little twirls in them. Maybe like that. Yeah. Like that, like butterfly wings. Attaching it at her back. So it kind of like comes out and then swoops and then goes in and twirls around like that. Let me see if I go in. Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, is how she's going to be sitting. And so let's see. Oh, that does not look like it's very focused, does it? Hold on. Let me see if I can. Oh, no. No. Let me see. Now that I'm zoomed in like that, let me try cutting this light on and seeing what we get. Is that a little bit better? Maybe. So you can kind of see her. Her face is here, her back, her butt, her wings are going off there. Y'all see it? Her ear is there. Now we've got to do, I know the butt's not right, but we'll worry about that in a little bit. We just need to like have her back cave in a little bit and it curve out a little bit. And then her legs, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. And so then it comes down. Her arm is going to be in here. This is going to be part of her chest here. And then it's going to come down like that into her stomach area. She's skinny, guys. And then her legs are going to be, and she could just be like, you know, kind of like sitting like this and just having her feet kind of like that. Something like that be one leg and then another leg come in here and just kind of go down like that. You know, because here's her arm in here. And she's gonna have her other arm kind of coming out here, sort of. She got a little arm. And she's gonna be holding let me see, that arm is not right. That make her look like she had a broken arm. We don't want our fairy to have a broken arm. It's going to come out and then it's going to kind of like just bend in front where she's holding, you know, something like that. I think I got it coming out too far and I got to come down a little bit. Look like she's like, okay. It's going to just be like coming down and then bending in front. There we go. That looks more natural. Where she's holding, I might even have her bend it up a little bit. Bend up a little bit. I just gotta think it in my head, like the angle I want her arm to be coming up. And then she's gonna have her flower here. And this hand is gonna be the one that's picking them off. So she's gonna hold the flower here. And it's only going to have like a few petals on it because she's already going to have picked off like a bunch of them. So she's well into the, does he love me? Does he love me not? So it's going to have like 3 petals on there because, or maybe like, I don't know, maybe 5. And then it's still like the question, how is it going to end up? Which one is she on? Is she on does he love me? Or is she on does he love me not? Hey, Catherine, how are you? Her knee bent up. Okay, with her knees bent up. Hey, Kathy. Whoops. I kind of got ahead of you, Sherry, there.
Okay.
Sorry.
I found this on the web for there. Check it out.
She found me something on the web for there. I'm supposed to check it out. I'm supposed to trust her. Hey, Kathy, how are you? What do you think? I need something over here. Like she needs a friend or something over here or something. Because this is a whole lot of canvas and I've only used like that much of it. I've got that much left. I can maybe bend this knee up a little bit and have it come up just a little bit. I don't know. And then there be, let's see, a little bend in that knee that is just more down like that. We'll see when I start to paint it, because sometimes when I paint things, different things happen, you know. Her hand is going to be holding that part. And then this arm, actually, I'm going to have one petal be over here that, no, she's going to be holding a petal that she just plucked off. And so this arm, I kind of got that arm wrong here. I need to just readjust that arm a little bit. Let's see, have it come out a little more like that, because she is reaching up. She's going to have her arm, and here's her little hand. And somehow in her hand is going to be, let's see, when you hold it, you do it like that. So the petal is going to be in her hand that she just ripped off. Something like that. All right. Y'all tell me. Yeah, I'm going to have extra petals that she's ripped off floating away. That's a really good idea. And then I'm doing good, Kathy. I'm doing good. And so, yeah, that's a really good idea, is that she has, because she's like flipping them. And so it's going to be these petals that are just like floating in the breeze. Now, y'all tell me, does she have a lightning bug? Lightning bugs in the daytime, though, aren't very like, y'all tell me. That is still terrible. I am not happy. I bought 2 cameras and I can't say I'm happy with either one of them. I cannot say I am happy with either one of them. So I think both are going back, and I'm going to be getting another camera. I could draw another frog, but the problem is I'm up off the ground. So I guess the frog could be sitting on the thing with her, but this is, you know, the ground is like down here. She's sitting on top of the canvas. I am not doing another ladybug. Not doing another ladybug. That's like 4 in a row. Like, no, thank you. I could do a teeny tiny one. But part of me just like, okay, I'm kind of over ladybugs now. But this would be like more of a true to size one. A bumblebee. Bumblebee would be cute. He'd be like, why are you throwing away my stuff? Why are you doing that? All All right, let's get her in there first because I think she's going to be one of our stumbling blocks if we have any, especially those arms. So I'm in the, y'all know when do deco art paints, which I do a lot of, and I do color. I like to use warm beige, sugared peach, and then a burnt umber. And I just realized I don't have my burnt umber. I looked up and forgot I did not have my burnt umber. All right, got it now. And so she could be sitting on a toadstool. Well, she's go sit on the I guess a toadstool is a mushroom. So that's what she's sitting on, is a mushroom. She's gonna be sitting on the mushroom. I'm not worrying about facial features right now. I'm just gonna paint the whole face, even where the eyeballs are, everything. I'm just painting with that base coat of of warm beige. And so sometimes I tend to get noses a little too big. So I'm trying to be a little bit on the conservative side with that nose, although now I got like a massive triangle. Like pretty sure her nose is not that triangle. Like probably not that long either. But if we get something that works, we can always shorten the forehead. And who knows, her nose might be a little bit longer. I'm gonna try to put a little, kind of bubble it a little bit, make it a little on the cuter side. And then her jaw is going to go back up like that. Unlike me, hopefully she doesn't have a double chin. She's little. Whoops. That's okay. Just make sure I get that background covered up. Then we're going to come up here. Here's where her ear is going to be, right there. We're just going to get that in. If we don't get it perfect, it's fine. We'll cover it up with hair. So it just kind of goes up to a little peak. No, I'm actually using deco art. I could use pixie paints. I mean, I probably should have used pixie paint since I'm painting a little pixie. But tonight I'm using the deco art paints. I used the deco art paints on the first one, and I feel like they will come together a little bit more than the pixie paints. But I do love my pixie paints. And so I do use a little bit of all paints. But speaking of Paint Pixie, I will be back live on their page later this month on the 21st of this month. And then I will be live again on the Sunday, the 26th of February. And then March 4th, which is the Saturday, the first Saturday of March, we're having another event. So mark your calendars. They're having another event like this one, or the one we just had. So you're going to probably want to follow that as soon as more information comes out about it. Hopefully it's okay that I said something about it. I think it is. I don't think it was like any kind of super secretive thing, but y'all know how the good prizes. So mark your calendars, and if you can participate in that. Well, I understand that, Kelly. You don't have to be like, that was part of a text message. Sorry, I do that too. I am a terrible texter. Um, because I text the wrong thing to the wrong people. It's a good thing that I'm not one of these people who talk about others or get into a lot of drama. I tried my life to stay drama free as possible and not bother with all that stuff. Yes, it is. It's a full calendar. Um, but it's a really good thing I'm not one of these people who are like, blah, blah, blah. Have you heard what blah, 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 blah did? And blah, 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 blah. Because I can tell you, I would be texting that person that thing. Do it all the time. I'm the worst texter on the planet. I text the wrong thing to the wrong person all the time. Like, oops, I'm sorry. I meant to send that to my sister, or I meant to send that to somebody else. So it's a good thing that, I don't text anything bad. And so, I keep to myself, mind my own business, and don't be texting anything bad that, it matters that if you don't text the wrong person, because I am the world's worst texter. So, all right, her little leg there, her leg looks a little short. We may have to lengthen that leg just a little bit. I mean, I know she's short and she's little, but I don't think she's supposed to be that little. Like, her leg is looking a little on the short side. This is her other leg coming in here. We'll separate them. Don't worry. They're side by side, but we're going to separate them. But I'm thinking I need to elongate that leg just a little bit. The beauty of acrylics. So yeah, I'm terrible when it comes to texting. So but I'm not one that gossips and tells people all kind of stuff. So I don't have to worry about anybody seeing it that's gonna care that I said what I said. So there's that. But I did one time I was texting my best friend about my husband because he made me mad. And I accidentally texted him. I did do that one time. I sent it to him instead of sending it to her because I was so mad at him that I wanted to vent, and I accidentally sent it to him. So he knew how mad I was at him. It wasn't my intention on doing that, but life happens. He still reminds me to this day about it sometimes. Well, he doesn't really remind me about it. He's just like, have you texted Tanya about me lately? Like, nope. Did you get it by accident? Then no. The answer is no. So, yeah, but I've been known to do that. We all need somebody to vent to. You know, you need that best friend that you can say anything to without judgment, you know, because when you get mad about something or you get upset about something, you just need that one person that knows you so well that, like, just like kind of forgives you when you like doesn't cast judgment or nothing. We all need that in our lives. All right. We're gonna split these legs here in a minute, but I don't want it to look like she's sitting there like she's got a little skirt on, so she needs to look like her legs are together, but not necessarily like they're coming out right now. I'm not liking the looks of these legs. But I think they're gonna be okay in the long end. I know they do, and you don't want to like constantly yell at them. And sometimes, you know, I mean, in his defense, he's not always wrong. I just don't necessarily want to hear it, and and it makes me mad because I don't want to hear it. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying I don't want to hear it, but it might make me a little mad because he's more right than wrong, but I ain't telling him that. He ain't hearing that one. I ain't gonna text that. I'm not accidentally texting him that one. I'll accidentally text him I'm mad at him, but I ain't gonna accidentally text him that he's right. Like I'm not putting that out. I'm not writing that out there to ever be seen. We're just giving her some dimension with her arms, okay, and her body parts. And so we're going to round these arms out a little bit using just the general rounding rules. And that's all we're going to use. And you know what they are. Darken one side a little thicker. Pick your dark side and make that the darker side and make that a little thicker. But then on the light side, just put a little, maybe not that wide. That's okay. We can cover it up when we put her clothes on her. Just a little line on the light side of that darkness. In this case, she's bending that elbow, so that elbow is going to be dark there where it's being bent. I don't know yet. I don't know what color her wings are going to be. Do you have a suggestion of what we should make her wings? I'm going to go back into that base color and I'm just going to kind of bring those darker lines kind of together a little bit. Go over any that got a little thick on me with that base color. And then we're going to put in a little highlight color. You think he's watching the live? No, he's not watching the live. He does not have Facebook, y'all. He doesn't do social media. So he doesn't do social media. So he barely knows how to text. He doesn't do a whole lot of that stuff, so. Here we go. We're cooking with gas now. We're getting it. She's looking more and more me. We gotta attach a hand on here somehow. We're just gonna keep working. We're gonna have her hand come in there like that. Oh, we could do that. That would be pretty. I could pull out my Pixie paints for that. They have a beautiful rose gold called Blush, and their metallics are truly my favorite. So I could definitely pull out those and do that. All right, for her face. Now, when I do faces, and we've got that other arm in there somewhere. We're going to work with that in a minute. When I do faces, I'm not, how do I say this? All I'm going to think about it first is where the dark spots are. We're not really thinking about necessarily eyes and noses and mouths and all of the actual features, the specific features. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to think about just where there's lightness and darkness of the face. So, yes, it will correspond to eyes and where they are, because the eye socket is like, pushed back a little bit from the rest of our face. Noses, a little bit underneath the nose, and define the nose a little bit. We're gonna put that in there. When it comes to a mouth, really, you're just gonna look at the underside. Get that in there. It's gonna be a little thick. Don't worry about that. Right now, we're just worrying about where there's lightness and dark. We'll narrow what we need to narrow, and we'll widen what we need to widen. We want to, give her a little shadow on her neck. She got a big neck. We might have to reduce that neck a little bit, but we'll do that with hair. And so we'll do that with hair. And so we're just focusing on those dark spots. So like where her hair is, there's going to be dark. Her ear, inside her ear, there's going to be dark. So we want to define that. Okay, now I'm going to go back into my base color, and I'm going to kind of just soften where those darkness and light come together there. I'm just going to kind of just soften it a little bit so it's not so stark difference. We're just using that base color, that warm beige. And this is where we can correct anything that needs to be corrected. Like I said, I think she's got a little bit of a long neck, but that's okay. We're going to cover up a little bit with some long hair. And I'll soften that just a little bit. We all think so far, so good, maybe. All right, this other arm here is gonna come in here. I'm not gonna really, I'm gonna follow like one of my lines, but I'm not gonna follow the other one because the other one has a weird bend in it. Somehow, I don't know what I was thinking, but I have a weird like bend in that. Arms don't bend in the middle. Neither do legs. They bend at the joints and that's it. The rest is straight. So just remember that when you do arms and legs on people, on dogs, whatever, animals, whatever, they bend at joints. They do not bend at in the middle. They may like be thicker in some spots than others, but they don't like bend. Thank you, Kathy. So yeah, I can kind of see her starting to pop in there. And this hand is just kind of coming around there and like that, where she's holding on. We're not going to get much more detailed on that until we get into that flower, but I'm kind of liking her as she is. I'm going to pop, just get a little bit of black. Now, she's pretty far away. You're not really going to see any features in her eye or anything like that. They're just going to be kind of dark. So you're not going to be able to tell like anything really in there. So she's looking that way and they're just going to be kind of dark. And that's fine. We don't need any more than that. I'm going to grab a little bit of a pink because she's so cute. She's going to have a little bit of a pink lipstick on. Again, don't worry too much. Just give her a little bit. I'm going to tone that down a lot because that kind of just stands out way too much. I want it to be a little bit of a coloration, but that's a little too much. And man, she got some big lips. Her lips are way too big. So I'm just gonna knock them down a little bit here. Just by coming in and using that base color that we were using. Okay. Now I think we are pretty much cooking with gas. That looks better to me. She's concentrating. We're going to put some eyebrows on her. Don't worry. She's going to have eyebrows because even fairies have eyebrows. Maybe not quite that big, but she's going to have them. We're just going to knock that back down. She does not have a unibrow. And she has her makeup on. And she's looking good today because she's like, I gotta know, does he love me or does he love me not? And so what do you think is her story? You think he loves her? You think he thinks, oh, that cute little pixie over there? She's gonna love me. I don't know. Give her a little blush up on her cheeks there. Just a little touch. Nothing major. All right. Now we got all of those features in and they're pretty good. We'll put her some clothes on and then of course he loves her. Of course it's Lovuary. I don't know how he couldn't. I don't know. Sometimes, like we said, men can be strange ducks at times. I got a funny story from my nephew. He is 12. And the teacher, who happens to be one of my sister's really good friends, they've been friends for years. In fact, her daughter, who's 17, and the teacher's daughter, who's 17, they've been best friends since like kindergarten when they started going to school together. And so, oh, you know what I have? I have these fun mica powders. We could also use some of these. Like, look at that. I just happened to like reach down into my Pixie box and like, these are from Glitter Makes It, but they're mica powders. And we could play with some of those. I've been wanting to play with those and I haven't played with any of them. And so anyway, well, Zach has her for one of his teachers. I don't know what class she's teaching, but he has her this year. She's a middle school teacher. So she calls my sister and she is like, your son today, another was like him and another girl in the classroom obviously had, I don't want to say words, but he told her that she had a unibrow. As part of these words, he told her she had a unibrow and she told him, well, at least I can grow hair on my face. And so I'm like, I looked at my sister and I said, so who won that one? Like checkmate, girlfriend. Like you is something. Anyway, so oh, that boy has his entire life, like you cannot, you don't know what he's gonna say. He can say anything. You don't know what he's gonna come up with. So you told her, but so here's the liquid pixie dust, metallic and blush. It's a rose gold. It's beautiful. It would go so pretty with any of these micas. It's beautiful on its own, but we could just touch a little bit in there maybe. So yeah, what color dress do you think we should put on her? I kind of don't want to do green. I don't want it to be too much like Tinkerbell. Maybe a purple. Kelly, I think you said to do the gnomes purple. There you go. There you go. I remembered that. I think I will pull the purple from the Pink Pixie because the figgy pudding is such a nice purple. And we're gonna put pink in her wings. We're gonna put pink in her wings, pink in the flower. And so it's such a nice purple, and you know, sometimes purples can be very kind of translucent. So we're gonna do a purple little dress on her, and I want to make it kind of frilly. I think I can see what I want to make it. Maybe. And I'm not going to necessarily stick to my lines. I'm going to do what works for her body, I think. Cuz like I think I have her butt a little big on the actual drawing. Like she's a little big. I want to round it a little more. She got a little junk in her trunk. And purple is fairyish. I agree. And so her skirt is just gonna be like kind of like Tinkerbell's skirt. I mean, Ziggy has to be attracted to something. I mean, she's pretty, but he's like, pretty don't always cut it. See how nice that purple is? It is really nice. And we're just going to let it be kind of shortish. That's why I said we had to make sure them legs go together. Because her dress is too short for her legs not together. Yes. I think so too. I really love the purple. I know that the camera kind of gives it a grayish tone, but trust me, there is no gray in this at whatsoever. It's just a really pretty, solid purple. It's kind of a deep purple. It reminds me of like an eggplant. I've never had figgy pudding. I don't know what color it is, but I guess it's from figs, which I guess kind of are purpley. So, but it reminds me more of like an eggplant. Just got a little white going in here. I'm just going to mix in a little white and lighten certain areas of her little dress. Give it a little flow. Just a little bit, just to make it fun. I'm glad I have you laughing because, every now and then we need a night of laughter. And so I feel like I have done I have accomplished. I'm using my Starlight Gold for the base of her hair because I kind of want to get this darker color in. Now, what I might do, because she's sort of magical, I might put a little bit of the Pixie 24 karat in this hair of hers. But right now, I just want to I got to figure out what her hairstyle is going to look like. And so she's no longer going to be bald. She's going to have hair. And that'll round out the rest of her head so she'll look more like a normal head. Yes, it is. We need laughter in our lives. I am a firm believer in that. You must have laughter. All right, we're going to figure out a hairstyle for her, but right now that's just like her head rounded out. And whether or not we're going to put her in a bun or put long hair on her or what, we need to figure that out. I'm going to grab a little bit of the blush. That is the Paint Pixie Dust. And we're going to start on these wings just to kind of get all of our elements in. Buns with tendrils. Okay. Okay. We can do that. I mean, just look at these wings. Who wouldn't want wings like this? Okay. Just got to think this through here for a minute. I was going to do the other side, but I'm like, what would that look like exactly in my brain? My mind's eye can't see it yet. So give me a minute. No, I'm gonna paint this one in, and then my mind's eye hopefully will see it, and we'll figure out what it's going to look like over there on that other side. Just some indication, that she has two wings. She doesn't just have the one side. But and it's attached to her back. Okay. There we go. That's what you see of it right there. And I'm gonna put her and then from there this would come like this, and so you would see a little bit of a bottom coming in here, but just a little bit of a bottom, and that way it looks like she has two wings. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you. Lord, when I turn up, I'm gonna be a hot mess because my eyes been watering and I'm sure I got makeup running everywhere. So what color of the mica do we need it? If y'all want it, do you want it? What color do you think we should just like touch in these wings with, maybe? Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't need it. I'm just giving another little coat just to deepen some areas. Special Pixie Powers. Yes, she does. The blue. So I think this is more purple, or I don't know. This looks bluer on the camera. So do you want to go with the Aragon or the Regal? Left hand, right hand. This one goes from blue to green, and this one goes from blue to purple. Because it's like color shift. Right, right. Okay. So blue to green, right? Okay. Just want to make sure. Say yes and not right, because then I get all confused. Right, this is the first time I've used this. Guys, don't sneeze when you use this stuff, because guess what's going to happen if you sneeze? It's going to go everywhere, 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 because it is a powder. But look how that, look at that. Just look at that. Ugh. All right. Oh, now I'm throwing stuff everywhere because I get all excited and I just get excited and I throw stuff, apparently. All right. I'm just going to use an older brush. Oh, oh my, oh my. Oh, now if you want to order the glitter makes it stuff, if y'all are like, I gotta have some of that in my life, I do have an affiliate with them. And if you put in SFA 30, you get 30% off. So look at that. Look at that. Oh, she looks like a fairy. I'm going to calm down. I know, you have to calm me down. A little does go a long way. Yes, it does. You buy these, I only, use them my entire lifetime. Pass them on. Yes, she does. She looks magical. Now we're gonna have to lighten her up a little bit, liven her up a little bit, I guess. She's looking a little old. Don't tell her I said that. But I'm gonna bring in some blonde hair now, and we're gonna work on that hair that Kathy wanted. And I think that will make her look a little bit on the younger side, hopefully. I'm gonna pull back like as if she has a bun, and I'm trying to show some of the darker gold. Like I don't want to cover it all up. I want to let some of that light come through. She looks really pretty. Like, look at that. She is just all kinds of beautiful right now. I'm gonna put a little bob up on top of her head. Oh, I am gonna give her some 24 karat gold in her hair. Absolutely, that's the plan. Is to give her some karat gold. I'm gonna give her some karat gold. But yes, I'm gonna give her some gold in her hair. Yeah, I'm just creating that like little trundle look that well, I'm creating the bun first, and I'm getting her hair up in a bun, and then I'll pull down the little pieces, and probably those little pieces are what's gonna be her that 24 karat gold. I gotta add a little dark in that bun so you can tell what it is. If you just have all of one color, it's not gonna show very well. And so you need to have your colors playing off of each other to give you that definition that you really want there. And so that helped a little bit. And then what we want to do, we're just gonna pull down. I just kind of got like a little messy bun, maybe. Just like little pieces of hair coming out of the bun. Again, I'm gonna add a little dark to that, and then we're gonna pull in that 24 karat gold. We're gonna let this dry a little bit. Was that what you're thinking of, Kathy? Something along those lines? I'm just gonna have a few little wispies. Coming down in her face. All right, 24 karat gold. Where are you at? You're right there. We're gonna let that dry. We're gonna move on to the flour and we'll come back for some of that goodness. I'm gonna put a little dollop out, just a little dollop, because I don't need a whole lot. And I'm gonna just let it sit and get all happy right there for a minute. All right, we're gonna work on the flour for a minute. What color flour do you think she should have? Like a white flour, maybe? We got a lot to this one tonight. This one's taking a while. Good Lord, we've been on here for an hour and a half. We haven't even gotten half of it done. You've been watching Jane and Lisa use those pixie paints? Yes. Yes. They are great paints. They really are great paints. What color? I love, and I've said from the very beginning, this is probably why I became an affiliate with them, is their metallic paints. I love their other paints too, and I love the way they work, but hands down, their metallics blow it out the park. All right. Let me pick up the speed a little bit. I'm gonna do a white flower and just see if we like that. Just a little different. We may put just a hint of a color on it. After all, it is a daisy, and daisies usually what are white, right? I mean, I guess you can get the Gerber daisies in all kind of different colors. I guess they do have pink too. Okay. And the center, what color for the center? Maybe like a really bright spring green or something. I don't know. Or brown. I think a spring green. Let's go with a spring green. I'm using Irish moss. I like those little white daisies with the green center. I could do a little shimmer to that. I could add a little bit of a colored shimmer to that and just make them shine just a little bit. I could do that. This is a weird name. It's called smog. I'm like, that's not a really a good thing, is it? Smog. All right, but this is a pretty thing. I'll tell you that. So good or not, this is pretty. All right, I'm just gonna touch. Oof, a little bit, Amanda. Okay, I'm gonna come back in and work on that, but I just got a little bit down. Oh my. No, that's pretty. She's got a magical flower. Can you see it? Not really. I really don't like this camera. But anyway, I think it's going to be perfect. I will put a little shimmer in the center. Let me get the I want to get that I need a darker green. Oh, where's my dark green? You were right here. You right there. So you think Ziggy gonna like her? I think he is. Okay. My next lab will be hopefully on Friday. Hopefully work cooperates. And then she's got this one in her hand that she's just picked. And so that she's getting ready to throw out. She just picked that one that's in her hand. And then these are ones she's already picked off. Like the Love Me. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. What do y'all think? I'm kind of in love with it. Look at all those hearts going. She is gorge. Is that the new way of saying gorgeous? Ooh, oh my, that was not good. Girlfriend, clean your brushes. I'm throwing baking soda all over, or cornstarch all over it, because that's what I used for the cornstarch in my molds the other day. And I didn't clean that brush. Girlfriend, clean your brushes. Something I was gonna say. Oh, yeah. One last step with her, and I think we're done with her, and we can get the mushroom in there and we'll be done, because this has been a long live. A little gold in her hair, because why not? When you're a pixie, everything is golden. I accidentally put it in her ear. Gorgeous. Thank you. All right, we're gonna do that mushroom and we'll be done. We've done a mushroom now 3 times. This is our last mushroom. Y'all know me. I don't like to do the same thing over and over and over. So this could be our last mushroom. Our last love story. This is Santa Red. It's the same red we've used in the other mushrooms. Well, the other mushroom that has Ziggy in it. We did not use this color in the original mushroom we did during the Friday painting tutorial. The Friday Quickie painting tutorial. That's what I call my Fridays because I try to keep them at an hour or less because I have to go back to work. And I don't have all day to just paint. I wish I did. But I have to work my day job. So I can't afford to paint at night. Oh, I said we wanted to flip that up. Well, we still have room to flip it up a little bit. But so folks know what she's sitting on. Just kind of looks like a little bit of a bell. That's the easy way to think about drawing it out. Just draw a bell. Think shape and draw a bell. It's the same. Yeah, it's gonna be the same color because I want them to go together. I'm gonna mix a little bit of burnt umber in just to have a little bit of a shade of the red, and then we're gonna put that in where I want that to be darker. So yes, it's the same because I want them to be, that's why I did the background the same, because I want the two pieces to go together and just be cute. Cute together. Okay. Dark side. Right there. You know, we gotta put a little bit of dark going up this edge. And of course, under her is gonna be dark too, because she's shadowing all of that. You just want to push up into those legs. So it looks like she's actually sitting on it. And then just shadow up underneath of her. It would be cute in a kid's room to have these. Take a little bit of that brown. I'm just going to use a little bit of that sugared peach with it. And we're just going to kind of come in underneath here and put that lighter brown tone up underneath there to build their bottom of our mushroom in there, because I wanted to show kind of more of the underside. So I'm just going to push up into that red where I got a little low. Didn't quite mean it to get that big, but that's okay. Maybe we're seeing that much of it. I don't know. Apparently we are. Come in there. And then we have this part of our mushroom. hair stem. And that's going to be kind of dark. So I want to go into a little bit of a black and a brown together. Just a little touch of that black and that brown. Not a whole lot. And then just kind of darken that part a little bit. I want to darken a little bit up in there, as well as over here, but I got so much light over here that I got to get that off a little bit, because as I mix in, all I get is light. And so when I really kind of want that dark to be in there. Then I'm going to go back into that red that we were using originally and just kind of marry up where I put that dark in there. And just so I have no harsh lines. And I'm just going to just come in and just kind of zigzaggy in that red color that I used as my base. Y'all have seen me do that like 5 times now. Y'all know how to do that. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of that yellow on my brush. And I'm just going to kind of come in this middle here and scrape in just a little bit of a highlight right there. And then down here on this very lip right there, where there's just a little bit of a highlight color that's showing much brighter on my camera than it is in real life. It's not that bright. So I'm going to just shorten that a little bit. Thank you, Ari. And then we're going to put little white dots on it. Maybe a little bigger than that. Try for yours to be random. I have a problem when it comes to random. I end up doing pattern every time. And so it's better if I do much better with random if I just go really fast and just like touch it down. But you could clearly see, regardless of which way you look, you see the pattern there. There is a pattern. Like I couldn't have created that pattern if I tried to create that pattern. All right, y'all know the drill. Go a little bit of brown into the white, and where it's darker, just go in and darken the circles, and that will set it into that dark side. Even though it still looks very light, it'll set it into your piece. And it doesn't look like it's riding on top anymore. It looks like it's part of that mushroom. And so and if it's like splitting a dark and a light, just do the part that is the dark side, and then in the light side just put a little white with that yellow and come in and do the same thing. And split them where you need to. And then it fits it into the mushroom. And so let's put them together real quick here. Let me clean up my mess. And let me put these away. I don't think I need any more of these. Because I need that space so we could tell our love story between, what is her name? We need to come up with a name for her. So, and she didn't get her friend, but maybe she will later. I don't know. We forgot her friend. I forgot her friend. I forgot her friend. But we're already hitting on 2 hours, so I'm gonna look at all that mess. So we got Ziggy and his soon to be a girlfriend, Little Miss. What's her name, guys? We need a name. Come on. Give me her name. What kind of friend should she have? Zora. Ooh. Okay, Zora and Ziggy. I like it. What kind of bug did y'all say to make her friends with? A little bumblebee? There's Jazzy, there's Zelda. Kind of like the Zora. That's kind of like something I have not heard before. It sounds exotic and fancy. Fancy like Applebee's on a date night. Right there. All right. Do we give her a ladybug, a bumblebee? I'm glad you put that up there because now I know what it looks like. So flying or just like your niece's name? Oh, that's cute. That's a cute name. I had never heard that name before. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, bumblebee it is, and flying bumblebee. So just kind of like right here, he's trying to be supportive. Okay. All right, let me go back and look at that little bee. Okay. All right, I got this. I got this. He's gonna be up here because he's gonna be looking at her. They're communicating with each other, and he's trying to be supportive. He's a supportive friend. So at the same time, he's like, why are you doing this, girlfriend? Like, don't be picking off flowers from my thing when I use this. All right, we just go do it the easy way. All right. That's the little black parts of our bumblebee. I tell you what I really want to do, and I'm gonna do it. Is a bumblebee butt. Y'all, there's nothing cute. Well, maybe a bunny butt is the only thing that's cuter than a bumblebee butt, but I raise catnip, and it's planted out in my garden area, and it comes back every year. Anyway, I tell you what, bumblebees love catnip. And at nighttime, if you go out and you look at your catnip at nighttime, there's all these little bumblebees, and they're all up on it, and they're fast asleep. You can actually like touch them and rub them, and they don't wake up. They're kind of like catatonic. And they are precious. And so you can just like, you can like just touch them. I gotta dry him, then I'm gonna put his wings on him. You know, they say that they're too big. They're technically too big for their little wings to fly, but they don't know it, so they fly anyway. That's what they say about a bumblebee. But they're kind of yes, get you some catnip. Now cats love it too. I snip some every night, and during the summer, of course, it's not there right now. But I snip some, you know, every night and bring it in and give it to Yo-Yo as a treat, and he loves it. All right, I'm gonna finish this piece. I'm not gonna do it now. I'm gonna do it after my live. The exact same way I did this piece with the thicket, so they completely match each other. But I think they're adorable. And I'm gonna turn this up because I'm really late. Yo-Yo gonna be up there. He gonna be mad at me. Kai's gonna be okay because, you know, but Yo-Yo gonna be mad at me because it's his treat time. Well, in a few minutes, it's his treat time. I'm just blowing off all the excess. Look, guys. Look how adorable. She looked a little old. I'm not gonna lie. But there's the little bumblebee. And so that's her. I gotta switch hands. And well, and this is him. And you could do them like this. I tell you what would be really sweet is to have those little things like having come like over here and then like one laying right there. That would be cute. But yeah, you could hang them like that, or you could hang them like this, just slightly, because you know she's sitting on the thing, he's sitting underneath, and so if you line up the mushrooms, it would kind of put them in the right, like how it would be. And so, but that would be so cute, wouldn't it? Ziggy and Zora. I think so too. I think so. I think they are adorable. I think, you know, they need to stay together. Like, can't sell this one without this one. Like, you gotta have them both. But there are Love You Wary Love Story, Ziggy and Zora. And their little pet or friendly frog and bumblebee. So there you go. There's the story. And I think it would be cute to like line them up and then hang it almost like that. And then have the little things trail down on one land, like just like right there or something, you know, like another one here and then one that's landed right there. Anyway, well, I had fun creating these with you all. I hope you'll join me on Friday. Monday, we're going to be off on an adventure. I think so. I think so. And you could do them like this too. You could hang them up, you know, like just like that too, because they're, you know, we did them across from each other. So that kind of works. That kind of works also. But anyway, they're both 8x10s, so they're not very big. And technically you could do them on something smaller, but I think 6x6 would be. Yes, paint party tomorrow night at 7. We are doing this sweet little girl mailing her Valentine to my Valentine, is what we are doing. So that's going to be super fun. It's an 11x14 canvas. Monday, we're going to be on an adventure. Dee challenged me she is going to direct me I see how my eye watered, and I watered off all my makeup. There's no makeup. Anyway, she's gonna direct me on what to like, what strokes to make and what to use. She's gonna give me like, here's the list of colors you need and things you need, and then she's gonna tell me like step by step, and I'm gonna follow the steps. I have no idea what I'm painting. I have no idea what it's supposed to be. And we'll see if I end up creating what she has envisioned. I've never done this before, but I'm like game for anything. So I was like, okay. So we will do that. Friday, the Quickie tutorial, grab your primary colors, your white, your black, and a little canvas. I don't know, 5x7, 6x6. We're going to use one of the two, and we'll paint something. I have no idea what. So if y'all have some suggestions, throw them in the comments. Other than that, I think we are good on all the announcements for this week. And I'm going to post some pictures. If y'all are interested in doing the calendar with me, I'm going to post some pictures, inspirational pictures, and have y'all vote on them, which one you think we should do. And so I've got a couple in mind. I've got a couple that I've seen completely different than landscape. But I don't know. It might be too different. Anyway, I will post some of that. I'll work on getting that done. It'll probably be tomorrow because it's already late. Anyway, we all have a great night and a great rest of your week. I hope to see you on Friday. If not, I hope you join me on Monday. Anyway, y'all have fun. Bye.